Welcome back to chapter 9. We're going to keep on going with 9.1 and we're going to work on that quotient property in this video. So let me go ahead and get our screen pulled up for that. All right, so here we go. We are going to work on the quotient property for these simplifying of radicals and square roots. So what this is basically it says the square root of a quotient is the quotient of the square roots, which is just a way of saying take the fraction and split them apart. So what we're going to do is, let me grab my pen over here and we'll do this color. So we're going to take this square root of 15 over 64, and to simplify this, what we do is using this quotient property is we can take and have it be the square root of 15 over the square root of 64, and then simplify them individually. Just like we did in the previous video, we're going to check and find any factors that are perfect squares inside the radical. So if we look, like if we start on this bottom one, this 64, I see one right away that we can do. 64 is a perfect square. So what the square root of 64 is, we're going to wind up with an 8 on the bottom. So then we need to check and see if 15 has any perfect square factors. So let's look at our factors of 15 and see if any of our perfect squares go into it evenly. And 16 puts us over the 15 indefinitely. So the 1, the 4 is not going to go in, the 9 doesn't go in, and 16 definitely doesn't go in. So we can't actually simplify that square root of 15. So it's just going to hang out on the top as it is. So this is our simplified answer. So we can split it apart and check each piece individually for things we can simplify. So let's look at the second one, option B, and split it apart and see if we can simplify anything. So instead of being the square root of 81 over x squared, we're going to have it be two separate things. We're going to have the square root of 81 over the square root of x squared. And now simplify each piece. Check out that square root of 81. That can simplify down. That's a perfect square in and of itself. So the square root of 81 becomes just 9. I can simplify the bottom too, this x squared. The square root of x squared is just x. So this one winds up with absolutely no radicals inside of it. So these are our two solutions. So when you see these quotients, you're just going to split it apart, break it into two pieces, and look at each piece individually using that product property that we did in the previous video so that you can break these down and simplify them as much as possible. All right, and once again, I'm going to say be careful when you're putting your answers in on Big Idea. Make sure you're using the letters from the keyboard and make sure you have the correct letter that matches the problem, and not use the X that's in the calculator on the Big Ideas website. Because if you use the multiplication symbol that they have on the calculator, it looks like an X, but the program says it's wrong. So make sure you're checking your answers and that they're showing up as correct before you submit your homework. All right, so may the 4th be with you and have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.